dreamers, and welcome back to Perla's Dreams. Aquarius, this is your reading. And again, guys, these are general readings, so only take whatever applies and please leave the rest. The intention is always said that it's for the readings to help you with your own evolutionary process and your inner growth. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and let's see what do we have for Aquarius. Um, you're you're being very precise this month. There is this energy of extreme focus for you guys. You're paying attention to the little details. That is basically what this entire month is about for you guys. This energy of, okay, this is how I do things, right? Like, this is how I start my morning. This is what I do in the afternoon. This is how I do in the evenings. Um, what's not working? Like, you're getting down to like the very minimal thing. You're really in this energy of like assessing how it is that you're spending your day, or where it is that you're investing your time and your energy, and you're just like, yeah, we need to make some adjustments here. And this energy of extreme focus and preciseness um can be annoying others around you. I'm not gonna lie, especially like if you live with a significant other, you have kids or whatever it is, or you live with other people. um Kind of be mindful of that, right? Just because you want to live your life a very specific way, right? Like, you want to have your space or whatever it is in a very specific way, doesn't necessarily mean that everybody else that lives in the same household wants the same thing. So this during this time for you is going to be a very hard time to like compromise. Compromise is the challenge for you during this time, Aquarius. Needing to set into the space where you realize that your way is the right way for you, not necessarily for everyone else. And that may be a little tough pill to swallow, especially because you may be like, well, they're my children. They're supposed to be. No, 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 no. They, you're raising adults, right? You're raising adults. These individuals that are your children at this moment in time are eventually going to grow up. The goal is for them to grow up and be their authentic self, to be able to express themselves, to be able to be themselves without being told who they are, right? So again, yes, there has to be compromise when it comes to everything, but you really need to like lay back a little with the controlling energy that I am picking up with. Again, this works for you, this preciseness, this focus, this attention to detail and things like that works for you. It comes naturally to you. It doesn't necessarily comes naturally to those around you or those that you are living with. So needing to lean into a little bit of compassion when it comes to that. I know that you don't want to hear it. It's like, well, if I know, let's just put it that way, right? um I myself have four kids and I have two dogs, and it's let's just put it that way, right? My kids are a lot much older. They're, teenagers and young adults, so everybody kind of plays their own role, right? But when they were children, I had to give them a space to be themselves, right? Because by allowing them to be themselves, they learn and they grow and they evolve, right? So kind of keep that in mind. I mean, if you don't have children and this is just strictly like a romantic relationship, if you want to change that many things about your significant other, then you need to ask yourself the question as to why you're even with them. Because the point of a relationship, right? Any type of relationship, but especially like a romantic relationship, is for the both of you to grow and evolve into who you truly are, not into who the other person wants you to be. Now, some of you may be sitting there and it's like, oh no, you got it in the reverse. Well, if it's in the reverse, it's in the reverse. You apply however it is that it works in your life. I'm just picking up the energy that I am picking up. All right. So let's go ahead and let's see what else do we have. Um, this energy of like preciseness and things like that is again, you have to be very careful with this energy, Aquarius, because it's like you're even reading into like what people are saying, and you're reading into what, like if somebody texts you something and it's like, they might put exclamation points because they're excited and you think that they're angry. Like just be aware that like it's almost kind of feels like your mind is playing tricks on you with certain things, or there's something that is trying to surface out that needs attention. Maybe falling back into old patterns, because there is an energy here of like feeling like maybe like people are after you, or people are against you, or something of that matter. um I don't know, it feels okay. So you may be seeing certain patterns and certain behaviors around individuals that you keep around, and you're starting to see quote unquote like red flags. Whether again, we're just gonna use this as an example. Let's say you're dating somebody, and at first everything was going okay, and this and this and that, and now all of a sudden you're starting to see red flags, or you're starting to see these little behaviors that you saw on somebody that you dated, like let's say 3 years ago, and this person really like gaslit you. This person really destroyed like your self-esteem. This person really had you thinking like you were going crazy, etc., etc., right? So you're starting to see this behavior with this new person, but it may just be this new person alone and not everyone else around you, right? It's not your family, it's not your friends, if this is your scenario, right? But it's almost kind of like now you're questioning everyone else around you, when your attention to be directed especially to that one person that is gaslighting you, to that one person that is making you doubt yourself. And there may be a sense here of like, maybe you've fallen for this person, maybe you've opened up to this person, and now it's like you're feeling betrayed, you're feeling vulnerable, but the way that you're going about it is in a very reactive way. So you're not responding to it. When we learn to respond to things, we learn to process them, we learn to see them and understand them, so that we no longer have to be in that space, or we no longer have to be in those spaces. I hope that that makes sense, Aquarius. So if this is a relationship, like a fairly new relationship, and you feel like this person is gaslighting you, this person is making you question yourself or making you doubt yourself, then the answer is very simple, whether you want to hear it or not. It's like walk away from this person, like walk away. It may be easier said than done, and I understand, but then make a plan so that you can walk away from this person. Because again, the energy that I'm picking up of this new person, this is somebody that you've maybe been dating for maybe like a month or two, three at most. Like this is not somebody that you're living with or anything like that. So it should be fairly easy to walk away from this person. Because again, it's like spirit is showing you like the patterns of the energies that you continue to invite into your life. We don't like to hear that. We don't like to analyze it that way, but it is the truth. Okay? Okay. All right, let's see. Excuse me. Um there's a you're surrounded by this energy of like a lot of planning. There's a lot of trips. I'm picking up like a lot of day trips, or a lot of like short trips that you want to take during I was gonna say the spring and summer, but I'm feeling more this energy of like the summer and the fall. So it may be that you may be planning and like hustling during the spring to make these trips in the summer and in the fall area, because that's the way that it's coming in. It's like something is getting started, or something is being um like the start, yeah, something is being started. So it's like the planning stages or the budgeting or whatever of it is starting like in the spring, so that then you're able to do all of these like little trips and all of these little things that you want to do in the summer and in the fall. Okay. there and it's coming in as a couple, right? There's a couple that is coming towards you, asking you for assistance or asking you for some type of financial help. um you may be very tempted to help this couple, to help this help them through their situation. If this is financially, I'm going to be completely honest with you. If you lend them money, find it in your heart to feel like you're giving that to them, because I feel that the minute that you lend this couple, these individual money, um their whole energy is going to shift around you, and they seem to be upset at the fact that you are expecting them to pay you back. So I always say, like, when I lend money, it's like, you know what, I'm gonna pretend like I'm not even lending it. I'm just gonna gift it. And if somebody wants to borrow something and I don't have that amount to gift, then I would quote unquote lend them what I know that I in my heart I can give without having to expect it to come back. Because a lot of times people like to borrow money and then want to get upset when it's time to pay off. Like I'm one that if you ask me, oh, let me $100, and that's just an example, and I'm gonna pay you on Monday, I'll be like, oh, okay. When Monday comes around, I'm not following your ass. I'm not texting you. I'm not anything. Sure enough, you may think that you got away with $100, but those are $100 that I lend you and you decided to steal from me. Oh, trust me, you're going to lose way more than that. And that's just a fact, right? When we try to do something, when we try to get one over a person and things like that, we end up paying for it, and we end up paying for it. Like the same way that you got rewarded tenfold, it's the same way that things get taken away from you. So just kind of keep that in mind during this time as you're thinking about lending somebody money. um the number six is very is coming up as very important during this time for you guys. Let's look what the six and 66 is coming up. um so the number six talks about love, harmony, nurturing, responsibility, and service to other. And the number 66, it's about balance, harmony, love, and spiritual growth. So again, when we look at this energy of like somebody wanting to borrow money and this and this and that, like, just be, if it's going to be a burden to you, if it's something that you're going to be stressing, then just don't even do it. Like, and I'm being completely honest, like, whatever you decide to do during this time, please do it from the heart. And if it's not in alignment with you during this time, it's not in alignment with you. And there's nothing wrong with just saying no. No is a complete sentence, and it sometimes it's needed. Whoever this individual is, or this couple that wants to borrow, I feel like they've done it before, and before, like, it took a very long time for them to pay you back or whatever it is. So it's almost kind of like this lesson that is kind of resurfacing to see what it is that you're gonna do, or like, are you gonna fall for it again, or are we gonna do things differently? Like, what are we doing here? All right. So this is interesting. The and I had wanted to look what a giraffe meant before I said anything. So they're showing me a giraffe, but the giraffe looks very sad. Like, it has its head, like, literally, like, its head is like leaning down. It's like it almost feels like defeated. Um, for those of you, like, if a giraffe is your spiritual animal, or if it's a spirit animal that you work with, or etc., giraffe symbolize grace, wisdom, and connection to the higher realms. So some of you may be in a space right now where you feel completely disconnected, or you feel like you're not protected, or you feel like you're not connected to the divine, or whatever it is. And it's like that's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. Let's remember what we're talking about in the beginning, where you're overthinking, or over analyzing a lot of things during this time. So kind of try and shut that down as soon as it comes in. Instead, like, try to get yourself into a space where you do feel connected, right? Sometimes we seem to forget that very simple going outside and connecting to nature is connecting to the divine. So maybe go outside and get some grounding. Go to the beach. Put your feet in the ocean. Whatever it is that you need to do, because that energy from the beginning of like over analyzing and like this preciseness energy is playing tricks on your mind during this time. So this is a time that you really need to like lean into your faith and really lean into your own knowing. Okay, Aquarius? Because you are connected. Like your spiritual team, your guides, spirit have not abandoned you. They are very much there. Um there are times that there are things that are meant to be learned in that space of quote unquote feeling disconnected, because you feel disconnected but you are not disconnected. And I feel like I have to keep on repeating that to you guys, because you guys are having a very hard time believing that you are still connected. But what can you learn in this space of feeling disconnected is the question, because we all there is this thing where we all experience it in different parts of our journey, and we are all learning different things between that space of feeling disconnected but not actually being disconnected. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull out an oracle card. We're using the Medicine Heart Oracle deck. um this is a new deck that was recently gifted to me by a very special client. So let's go ahead and let's see. Give me one card to close our Aquarius's reading. Give me one card, Spirit. Just one card for Aquarius. One card. One card. One. So we have the Priestess of Talua. That's number 15. Why do I feel like I just read this one? Somebody else just had this card. I want to say. Somebody else just had it. Um. In the ancient and sacred Chinese art of Taoism, life is reverted as an expression of supreme wisdom with its own innate natural healing intelligence. The wise soul chooses to align with the way of life, the Tao, feeling rather than forcing its direction. Earth constantly expresses the Tao, radiating life force through her subtle energy currents. The soul can connect to these vitalizing telluric currents through the body, especially via the soles of the feet, and be spiritually supported by them to grow in wisdom, just as the bird uses invisible currents in the air beneath its wing to take flight. An important decision will lead to a significant and uplifting change in your life. Feel for the deepest alignment with wisdom to make your choice as you lovingly and creatively shape your future in harmony with the universe. You may already be sensing the imminent change. Trust in Mother's Earth, encouragement, and support. Someone else had this. I want to say it may have been Capricorn as well. Um, I want to say it was Capricorns. I'm not 100% sure. But there is a sense of you needing to connect to the divine through other spaces or area other than, like, maybe some of you are used to like constantly having visions or constantly having downloads, and you're missing the aspect of how we connect to the divine on a daily basis through everything that we do. And again, what I was saying earlier about going into nature, like walking barefoot on the grass, sitting under a tree, whatever it is, right? um and I was actually having a conversation with someone, I think it was yesterday or something like that. And I was talking and I was saying, like, do you feel spirit on a daily basis? Like, do you feel spirit in everything that you do? And they shook their head like, no, like it's almost kind of like it's become this thing of like you have to do a very specific practice or whatever it is to connect to spirit, to be connected to the divine. And I'm like, no. When I do dishes, spirit and I are continuously having a dialogue, right? There are downloads that come in, and it may be something that I had completely forgotten about. When I am doing laundry, when I am taking a stroll, when I'm just taking a walk, like through everything that I do, I allow myself to be open to continuously stay connected and rooted within the divine. Because, like, being connected, right, opening up yourself to that space where you are connected and you feel it and you're grounded in it, it is not something that we do only when we're doing this or when we're doing that practice. The purpose of all of this is to be connected at all times to the divine. Now, what that means is like you're not always going to have visions. You're not always going to have like these out of body experiences and things like that. But even the simplest things of just like looking out the window and looking at the sky, and you're connected to the divine. So like you're really needing to look at it from those perspectives and really start to reconnect, to the divine through different sources other than just visions or whatever it is, like a specific practice or something of that matter. I hope that makes sense, Aquarius. That is all that I have for you at this moment in time. As always, thank you for all your love and support. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't done so, go ahead and do so. We would love to have you. Sending every single one of you love, strength, and blessing. Guys, take care. Mwah. Love you all. Bye bye.